Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
We start with a breaking news alert. Right now across the state of North Dakota, bars and restaurants are closing their dining rooms and won't be opening them back up for weeks. And joining us now for a live look at restaurants as they shut their doors is Valley News Team's Joshua Piguero. Good afternoon, Joshua.
Jordan, as you can see, I'm standing in front of the Toasted Frog where the doors are closed. The doors are closed in front of the Toasted Frog, and Governor Doug Burgum has ordered all restaurants, bars, and gyms to close by noon. So that's already passed, or you risk a $1,000 fine. There are no cars, barely any cars parked in front of downtown Fargo, so it won't be hard to find a parking spot. I'm going to flip the camera. As you can see right here, Sandy's Donuts is still open, but the dining room is closed. You can get donuts. They're advising people to call ahead if you're going to place an order for donuts. Same thing with Urban and Gerbert's, as well as Spicy Pie Pizza. I thought this was interesting right here, Jordan. If you can see in front of the Fargo Theater, wash your hands and be excellent to each other. Again, all bars, restaurants, and gyms are ordered to be closed by Governor Doug Burgum until April 6th. Possibly it can go on even longer. And if you're open, you risk a $1,000 fine. I'm going to send it right back to you in the studio, reporting live in downtown Fargo. Joshua Piguero, Valley News Live.
A very eerie scene there, Joshua. Streets are empty and church bells are going off. Looks like something from a movie, but thank you. Leaders of the Fargo Moorhead Metro say social distancing is necessary to get through this pandemic. They met this morning to show support for Governor Burgum's initiative to close bars and restaurants. They also took time to encourage small business owners and people to support each other until they can reopen the dining rooms. Mayor Mahoney closed the meeting by stressing the importance of flattening the curve. Another case of COVID-19 has been reported in North Dakota. That brings the total now to 20. In Minnesota, the numbers, they jumped. They're up to 115. Cases have been reported in both Cass and Clay counties. Just moments ago in a press conference, President Donald Trump said he is closing the border between the U.S. and Mexico at midnight. The president also announced he is invoking the Defense Production Act to boost the production of ventilators and masks in the nation. Taking that live look outside right now, you can't tell it by looking out there, but you tell it when you walk out there. It's cold out there, especially for a mid-March day. For what we can expect for our forecast, let's head on over to First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Justin Panfarelli.
And thank you, Jordan. Good afternoon, everybody. Temperatures across the region well below where they should be this time of year. Let's take a look at the current temperatures, and we are holding up and down the Red River Valley near 10 degrees. We're only at 8. That's your air temperature in Devil's Lake. A little warmer, not by much, though, as you make your way into Lakes Country, into the mid-teens. Jamestown also into the mid-teens, maybe some lower 20s as you make your way into South Dakota. Winds across the region still from a northerly or northwesterly direction. Wind speeds between 10 and 25 miles per hour, continuing to pump down that cold air from Canada. Wind chill values across the region range from 5 below zero to 5 above zero. And we have a lot of sunshine out there, maybe a few more passing clouds to make your way west of Devil's Lake. But it'll be a dry day with your sunshine and that northerly wind really keeping temperatures down, with highs into the mid to upper teens across the region today. Now we got a mainly dry week ahead again, and temperatures will be on their way up through the weekend and to start next week. We'll tell you how warm coming up later in the newscast.
All right. Thank you, Justin. Police are warning people of a high-risk sex offender moving into Fargo. 32-year-old Jesse Janke is now living at 726 College Street North. That's close to NDSU. He was convicted in 2016 of patronizing a minor for sexual activity when he tried to have sexual contact with a police officer posing as a 16-year-old girl online. The Fargo Police Department is taking even more steps to make sure it's not spreading any potential viruses in the community. The department says after every shift and after someone is hauled in a police car, it gets completely wiped down. Police say they also have 2 special units dedicated to transporting people who may have been exposed to COVID-19. New for you at noon, everyone just got a little bit more time to file their income taxes. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin made the announcement on Twitter this morning, saying the new deadline is July 15th. Americans now have 3 more months to send in their tax returns. Secretary Mnuchin said in his tweet, at the president's direction, all taxpayers will have this additional time to file and make payments without interest or penalties. Mnuchin also said in a separate tweet, "I encourage all taxpayers who may have tax refunds to file now and get your money." Officials warning us about the coronavirus threat are increasingly worried that baby boomers and young adults are not listening to their advice. It's a particular problem in Florida, where some beaches are still open and college students on break have been slow to recognize the danger. Manuel Barroquez is in Florida with more.
If packed beaches weren't enough to get your blood boiling, there was this.
If I get corona, I get corona. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying.
Now, some young adults seem to be getting the message that they can spread the virus and become severely ill themselves, even if they had to learn it the hard way.
They're starting to all get positive tests.
This Vanderbilt University senior, who asked we not use his name, is now one of a number of students who tested positive for the coronavirus at that school.
Because of the just sort of rapid spread, everyone's really worried. I have a friend in the multiple friends in the hospital right now. I think that the narrative has completely flipped. If you go out now, you're going to get shamed from a lot of people.
Officials are trying to reach young people by any means possible. The Surgeon General asked influencers like Kylie Jenner to spread the message.
Please stay inside, you guys. Please stay inside, practice social distancing, self-quarantine.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo brought his 22-year-old daughter, Michaela, to a news conference to show she's staying put.
It makes no sense to go expose yourself to these conditions and expose other people.
74-year-old Errol Eisinger of Fort Lauderdale agrees.
But if you could say something to them, what would you say?
I would say just be aware of what is going on and take it seriously.
He's part of the quarter of Florida's population over 60, a concerning statistic in a state up until recently full of tourists. The governor has been criticized for not ordering all beaches closed.
When people put out some of these pictures that were, at the beginning of the weekend when CDC's guidance said 250 people is fine, time changed radically in 72 hours. And so we've responded. A lot of local communities have responded.
But Miami-Dade County didn't close all beaches until yesterday. Clearwater Beach is closing today. We also found when it comes to young people, the reverse can also be true. Many say they're finding it hard to convince their parents to change their routines.
My dad is in sales and he's a baby boomer, a go-getter, and last time I talked to him, he was still out moving and grooving.
This is shaping up to be a drastically different weekend, with some hotels closing due to the lack of demand, and others, like in the Florida Keys, being forced to close starting Sunday at 6 p.m. Coming up here at noon, doctors and scientists are quickly working to find a drug or vaccine to cure COVID-19. We'll show you one that seems promising in just a bit. But next, Justin Fanfarelli is in with what you need to know for your Friday forecast.